Marine Detail Supply Company, setting the standard for the marine detailing industry. We set the standard.
Hey guys, tell you what, we've got an exciting video for all of you out there. We always get questions on, can we use your products in the automotive field? We've got Jason Miller here, one of our STARKE certified automotive installers, and we're gonna go through and wash and ceramic coat this GMC 2500. So if you wanna see how to get it done yourself, go ahead and stick it around, and we're gonna show you how it's done.
What's up guys, it's Jason here over at Marine Detail Supply in Fort Myers. We have a 2023 GMC AT4 here for a two-step correction and getting covered with Graphene coating afterwards. So right now we're doing the first step of really compounding everything, getting all those micro scratches out, all those deep scratches or any imperfections in the paint. And while we were looking at this beforehand, there was a lot of wet sanding areas on this truck straight from the factory. Yeah, as you see, there's just probably 2 or 3 car washes worth of scratches and factory scratches from the dealership. This improper wash. We're just gonna get into it and start doing a two-step. Most people do 4 passes, 2 sideways, 2 up and down. Really depends how bad the truck is. We'll be using your favorite Elevate to get this. I like to do 3 bigger splotches of product. I just like to get the most juice possible on there without over juicing it. You gotta let the compound really do the work. The wool pad is there for working process, but STARKE's good with their compound, so trust that.
To start off, I'm using Lake Country's white microfiber cutting pad along with the Elevate cutting compound from STARKE Yacht Care. As you see, I'm starting my first pass is going to be side to side. What that allows me to do is just the 1-3-2-4 method is going to keep your brain on a schedule. It never lets you forget how many times you've gone through a section, and you're always going to keep the same amount of passes through every single section you go through on the car. And with the second cut, as you see I'm really going to edge out those sides because, like I said before, I don't want to have to come back and waste time and more money to come back through every section if I didn't get all the scratches out. This Elevate cutting compound from STARKE Yacht Care, personally I think is the best compound on the market. If it's used for boats, it's going to really cut on cars. Last corner, I'm really just scrubbing out a last scratch that was there. I think about 99% of swirls, micro marine scratches, deep defects, clear coat imperfections, all going to come out with this. Anything that doesn't come out just really needs a deep wet sand. This is my last pass, the 4th pass. Just really going to make sure the orbital is doing its work. It's perfectly flat, perfectly spinning, because if you don't have it spinning right, not every single pass is going to be right.
Always feel the panel, see how hot it is. Roughly panels 130, 140 degrees, you want to stop or else you start melting. So make sure you always got your corners down to cause scratches. And as you see, 4 passes really does the job. We'll come in with the second pass with a polishing compound, triple P, and get it back to black. And what I like to use is a Rupes 15. It's got the 15mm throw on it with the Lake Country wool pad. This might have a little micro marine, but it's probably one of the best cutting pads on the market. My personal opinion, it is. So as you can see, we finished the first step compound with the Lake Country and Elevate from STARKE Yacht Care. And there's nothing left besides the haze. And that haze we're going to take out with a triple P and an orange pad for Lake Country. Now that we're done with our first step, the cut compound with the Elevate from STARKE Yacht Care, we're on to the second with triple P. The gloss is going to be insane on this black paint. The gloss meter, literally, it breaks every time. But the micromarine on this finish, as you can see, there's a little bit of haze left. And over, the second pass is just going to take all of that out and bring it right back to where you want it. The process with the polish that I like to do is put a heavy first coat on there. Make sure you rub it in with your fingers. Make sure every single part of the fiber is coated with the triple coat. And what that does for me, it allows it to glide over the surface so it doesn't hook and cause little pigtails and tick marks or anything. Now that your pad's primed, I like to put 3 a little bit bigger dots for the first pass just to make sure it's not on there. And I'll split this store in half. And that allows me, since it's a little bigger of a section than you would use for a compound, the polish, is just more or less getting that micromarine haze out, so it's not getting any deep scratches out. Everything's already been worked on. So this is really the last stage to make the paint bright, and then alcohol wipe and coat it afterwards.
Following the first step is now the second step. I'm using the orange pad from Lake Country along with the triple P from STARKE Yacht Care. This STARKE Yacht Care polish is a primer polish used for an adhesive promoter for the ceramic coating to bond to after I'm done with this. I'll do the same thing as I would for compounding with the polish with the sections. I'll make sure I do the 1, 3 side to side, 2, 4 up and down. I'll cut my section about a half a door because polish, obviously you're not cutting out scratches, you're cutting out micromarine. So it's a little bit easier to cut out. For the arm speed, I'd go roughly a 3 out of 5 as compared to a compound is about a 1.5 out of 5. I'll make sure to edge out my sections the same way I would as I compound to make sure every single section is polished perfectly and correctly in the same exact all around. My last 2 passes are going to be a little bit slower than the first 2, but it's really just going to make sure I'm getting the full polish and micromar out. With the STARKE Yacht Care Triple P polish, it's definitely the glossiest polish on the market. I feel as if something is used for the marine detail, it should be used on cars.
Now that we finished the second step, I did half of the store with the triple P and the orange pad from Lake Country, the HDO. And if you look really closely, there is a micro-mar line right down the middle to where that's been restored fully with the 2-step, to where this is going to hit the first step of compound. Alright, now we're on to the third step with STARKE Surface Prep. This is one of the better alcohol/conditioner solutions that they have on the market. This has no streaks, you can use it on glass if you want. It just allows maximum adhesion for all coatings. And the best thing, like I said before, it's just no streaks. And that's one of the biggest things you run into with coating. So now on to the last and final step is applying the graphene marine coating called Liquid Kraken from STARKE Yacht Care. The reason I choose this graphene coating over a lot is because since it's meant for marine, it's going to protect you from water spots, salt in the air, the high UV index in Florida. I mean, your paint will get 150, 160 degrees every single day, and you don't even notice it. But this will protect you from those water spots that sit on there all day after a afternoon shower. It just gets so hot afterwards. And I've tested this. I've literally put this on cars, sat it under the tree for 2 weeks, came back out, cleaned it, not a water spot. So it's proved to me, and hopefully this will prove to you guys. So now we're going to prime the pad, and it just make sure roughly every surface area is wet. Not every single spot, but the corners, the edges. And I'd say that's roughly good for a prime pad. What I do, I start from the middle, I go side to side, edge out my box, and I'll come around, run back through it side to side. Just like I would if I was polishing compound side to side. And then I'll come top to bottom to really lay everything perfectly straight. make sure you overlap about 30% on your passes. The cure time is really going to depend on where you're at, what humidity level you have, what it is in your shop, how hot it is. So if you're in Florida, cure time is probably going to be a little bit slower, or a little bit faster because it's so hot and humid. And what you're going to look for when it's done curing is sweating. Most coatings will rainbow effect. This one sweats. So what I like to do, I use a 3-towel method. First is long nap, second and third are both short naps. I'll use those to make sure everything's off, because if you leave a high spot, I mean, I can guarantee you're going to have to at least polish it to come off, if not compound it, because ceramic coating and graphene coatings are very strong. So I'll do the first wipe, like I said, with a short nap or a long nap. Second and third are both short naps. And the first one I have is a long nap because that has all those deeper grooves in it to where it goes into the material. It doesn't sit on that short nap, and it allows it to actually take off the coating. And as we look at this right now, roughly, it's, I'd say, just about ready to come off. It's starting to sweat very slightly. You can see those water, it looks like dust specks in the coating almost. So when I wipe ceramic and the graphene coatings off, I always make sure I wipe one direction and I push everything. If you start doing circles and whatnot, you're just making more room for error for yourself. You're pushing coatings into places that they're not supposed to be, whether it's adjacent panels, windows, and it just makes the process much harder when taking it off, when it's really not a hard process to keep it moving. That's the first wipe. Take my second wipe, get that edge, bring everything this way. Bring it where the direction that you are going to go into. So if you do have to, you leave ceramic on there in the section next to you, at least you're coming back in there and you're putting the coating on. It rejuvenates it, so it's easier for it to come off. There's first, second, third wipe. Just your finish wipe, there shouldn't be anything on the panel, just used to clean up anything that you could possibly put it onto. So you're looking at all the corners, you're looking at the door handle, under the door handle, like that. So that's pretty much it, guys, when it comes to the graphene and ceramic in a truck or a car or whatever you want to do. Just detail, 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 and you'll be perfect as long as you listen to those things that professionals tell you or me myself told you in this video. So hope you all enjoyed.
Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment on our content. We encourage engagement and debate. Be on the lookout for more product reviews, tutorials, and interviews just like this. Follow us on social media for free giveaways weekly. See you next time.